What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining me today on this beautiful day. I hope you all are healthy and well today, and I hope your day was fulfilled with nothing but positivity. All my new supporters joining us for the first time, giving your boy Strac a chance. Thank you so much for joining us today on this marvelous day. I hope you all enjoy this video just as much as myself, because today my American self will be reacting to how is Australia so rich. The world has questions for you guys. How is Australia so rich? How are the people there so wealthy? How is the country, the government, how is everyone so wealthy? Where you getting it from? Where you getting it from? I just want to figure out like what's going on the other side of the world. It's crazy what we got to go through over here. We got to grind, hustle. People got to work 40 hours plus to see a good bag. You guys is using up all your vacation time. You're getting extra time off, this, that. Like, you get all the perks, man. And it truly is amazing. I like to see that for my people, for real. I really do. And I seen the New Year's firework display show y'all had for 2026, 2025, and 2024. I ain't trying to hear it. Y'all got money. Y'all got that bag. You think you're trying to fool people and hide it? Stop it. We been knew you had that money when I seen that show. No. No.
0.32%. 0.3.
Oh, shout out to the Geography Bible original video. Link will be down below in the description. Feel free to check out the original channel. Feel free to check out my Twitch. Don't check out the Twitch. Follow the Twitch.
0.32%.
Twitch.
That is the total population of the planet that lives in Australia. At around 26 million inhabitants, it is the 53rd most populated country in the world.
Okay.
A gigantic country that itself is a continent located down under. It is rather secluded and thousands of kilometers away from any other major civilization. Yet it has the 13th largest economy on the planet, and Australians find themselves as being the 20th richest on Earth in terms of GDP per capita. So just how is Australia so wealthy? I'm your host Sam, and you're watching the Geography Bible. First of all, let's take some in-depth look at Australia's economy and financial statistics. As mentioned earlier, they have the 13th largest economy on the planet, with a GDP of around 1.6 trillion US dollars, putting them above Spain and just below Brazil, a country with over 8 times the population and surrounded by many other countries. Australia's GDP per capita for purchasing power is just shy of 55,000 US dollars, which works out to roughly 77,000 Aussie dollars, placing them above the likes of Canada, the UK and France, but just below Germany, Sweden and Austria. And finally, Australia ranks as having the 8th highest average salary in the world.
That's
some very
excellent.
impressive stats.
The 8th highest? That is excellent.
That's for a country where 90% of people live in just 3% of its land. So first things first, Australia is incredibly rich in minerals. There is such an abundance of
Wait, I'm sorry, did he say 3% of
people live in just 3%. Impressive stats for a country where 90% of people live in just 3% of its land.
90% of people in Australia live in just 3% of its land. Oh my gosh. So like the rest of your country is like undiscovered, or is it just outback? Somebody let me know. Or there's some places that are undiscovered. Somebody let me know. I mean, that's really big. You guys have a lot of beaches as well. I may be wrong. I think it was like 20,000. I may be wrong. I'm taking a wild guess. But it's ridiculous. We would all die before we even get the chance to visit all the beaches. It's over. Cooked. Australia is humongous. What? 90% of people live in 3% of its land. How big is Australia? That really has me thinking. Damn.
So first things first, Australia is incredibly rich in minerals. There is such an abundance of minerals that it not only meets its internal needs, but it also covers the needs of many other countries around the world, meaning it can export these precious commodities in exchange for dollars. In 2020, Australia was the largest producer of lithium. You might have heard of this.
That's my first time. This is my first time learning that Australia has lithium. Like, they produce the lithium and everything and they sell it. So like our batteries and stuff, plays a really big factor. You know, you guys want to watch TV, the remote's not working unless you put batteries in it. Sorry. I'm sorry. Unless you're an electrician, maybe you can make something happen. But like, come on, guys, let's be real. Shout out to Australia. This is another thing that I was unknown about your country. Lithium.
20, Australia was the largest producer of lithium.
Largest producer of lithium. This is my first time learning that. I'm gonna include this to like my knowledge bank of like amazing Australian inventions. Even though I don't want to call this an invention, it's not an invention though. Now we can't put it in the invention category because it's not an invention. It's just what you produce, what you hold the most of, and what you sold the most of to your allies and stuff. So scratch, I even said that.
You might have heard of this compound. It is used in batteries, and in case you haven't noticed, batteries are extremely important in today's digital age, especially.
So these driving cars, lithium batteries. Guys, I got a grudge against Teslas. It's nothing against you guys. It's nothing against you guys. I don't want to go on that rant. We already discussed this. You build the car for no reason. Like I said, him and the family gonna be laughing at you when they pass you at the light. And they got dinner and they got groceries in the trunk. Not worried about you. You know, it's undefeated. What it said, like 2 seconds, 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds, 2.6 or 2.9 seconds. Have you lost your mind? Have you lost your damn mind? I'm gonna lose my mind. All right, let me stop. I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm done building my car. It's over with. It's cooked. Done building the car. It's over. I don't care no more. But like I was saying, lithium batteries play a big part, a big role in these electric cars nowadays because they are taking over. It's not just Tesla. There's like every brand is creating an electric car. We even got like muscle electric cars. It's not even muscle at that point. I don't even care. If you got an electric muscle car, it's not a muscle car no more, is it? I don't know. Let me know that. Let me know in the comments, please. Some people could beg to differ. I'm not saying I'm right.
With the gigantic boom
these electric
in
vehicles.
today's digital age, especially with the gigantic
Make
boom.
me sick. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. Like, it's all right. I'm sorry. I'm my car people. You understand? It hurts. I'm gonna give me a Tesla Plate S. And I'm gonna drop it. Give me a Tesla Plate S and I'm gonna drop it.
Extremely important in today's digital age, especially with the gigantic boom in electric cars. Therefore, Australia is capitalizing on this opportunity, especially in China, where 41% of all.
It's big in Australia. You driving long distances. It reminds me of states like LA and stuff. You driving far. Everybody got electric cars. It'll save you some money. For real. Save you some money. For real. You're gonna be filling up. Highways stretch. Your destination is not down the street. You gotta keep going. Yeah, I know.
Capitalizing on this opportunity, especially in China, where 41% of all electric vehicles were purchased in 2020. Australia is also the largest aluminium and opal producer in the world and the third largest producer of
okay, so you got aluminium.
Largest aluminium and opal.
Aluminium. I say aluminum. Aluminium. That's probably the proper way to pronounce it, though. I watched the video on this definitely. Aluminium. I didn't know. Oh, I did actually. It was just the way to pronounce it.
Producer
okay.
in the world and the third largest producer of diamonds. Another export that helps to prepare.
Wait a minute. Diamonds? I'm learning all.
And the third largest producer of diamonds.
Who's the first and second? I was the kid. I was brainwashed as a kid to believe, yes, Africa, took care of all the diamonds. They was holding all the diamonds and stuff. Watch somebody in the comments be like, no, not even close, Strac. Not even close. Where'd you get your teachings from? Yeah, I'm sorry. Just take as a kid, man. Is it Africa? What's the second? Please let me know the other two countries.
Another export that helps to propel Australia to the top of the rich list is food. And its food industry is almost entirely based on local produce.
Yep.
As Australia is not short of space, it has vast areas of the country occupied by cereal crops. Because Australia is just so darn big, it has many different climates and can grow different fruits and vegetables that are typically found in different climate zones around the world. In the
Yeah.
north, you have rainforest conditions, in the centre, you have desert, and then far down into Tasmania, you have temperate climates which are more like that of the UK's. Also, Australia is one of the countries with the largest herds of livestock around the
They got brown sheeps?
world.
Or is that like, does the coating of the fur change colors? Out of my whole 22 years of living, I've never seen a brown sheep. But is that like the dirt or I don't know. Are there actually some brown sheeps out there? There's Are there black sheeps? I've never seen a black sheep. I've never seen a black sheep but in a cartoon. That's really the odd one that stands out. Oh yeah. Huh.
The number of sheep in the country is the second largest in the world, only behind China. And for beef exports, only Brazil beats the Aussies. Australia's
okay,
total
Brazil?
export value
Really?
is just shy of 500 billion US dollars, with China, Japan, and South Korea, three other major economies, being their biggest trading partners. Australia ranks as being the 8th highest country on the Human Development Index. The
Oh, I don't see my country nowhere.
index considers the health, education, and income in a given country to provide a measure of human development, which is comparable between countries and over time. Scoring high in this index usually means that the country is in a great place in terms of finance, society, education, and quality of life.
Yeah, you see? And that's true richness. And you know what? Now that I'm actually reading the title, I like this title, man. Because it says, how is Australia so rich? He didn't say wealthy. Some people got to know the true meaning between richness and wealthy. Richness is that balance in life, doing what you love, having vacation days, spend time with the fam, or do what you love for a living, make good money, still save. Nothing is really expensive. You got the good health care going on. You got this, that. Well, better than what we got. I know everybody can say something needs to be tweaked, but it's better than what we're used to over here, you know? You guys got it all, you know? The policies within your jobs and stuff, that makes a big difference. And these people are like stressed. For real, we got people taking their lives because they got to pay bills. These bills is like, it's crazy. It's like it's getting crazy. I don't know. It really takes a toll on people. Like bills, especially when you're like in debt, you're running behind, and it's like this is too much. Your job don't pay enough, or this you got to deal with that. It really does suck, honestly. Seriously, and I'm hearing that some countries have like free college, take it out the taxes as well, just like healthcare, and these kids are like learning for free. You don't even need to fight for scholarships and stuff in high school or try to make your way to be noticed to get some money off like on your grant. That's it's amazing.
It doesn't mean that it's perfect
Richness.
society, education, and quality of life. It
Facts.
doesn't mean that it's perfect, but when a country excels in all of these sectors, it usually translates to a strong and healthy economy. A country with poor education, working standards, civil war, and unrest will be very unlikely to have a booming economy with wealthy citizens. For example, the DR Congo is one of the most naturally rich countries on Earth, has a population of around 90 million and a super young populace of around 17 years on average.
Nice.
Yet, it is one of the most corrupt and poor nations on Earth, with an economy of just 50 billion US dollars. Australia's relative peace has also helped maintain its strong economy and position. Over the last century, Europe has been annihilated flat twice. South America and Africa wrecked by civil wars and coups, and Asia all of the above. Australia and North America as well have been pretty much untouched, and so are wealthy. This isn't to say that Australia hasn't invested and been involved with wars, but there has certainly been no air raid blitzes over the Sydney Opera House.
Oh, that's another thing. Australia isn't always in the mix. You guys are quiet. Very humble. You stay to yourselves, just like Canada and everything. Stay to yourselves. Guys are taking care of the GDP though. You guys are taking care of the GDP. Everything's going swell. I feel like your military is not weak though. We all know that quantity means nothing. It's equantity. The training, the experience. Real tough people. So I don't think anybody's looking to try Australia, honestly, because a lot of these countries focus around equality, the training, the practice, the dedication. How long have you been doing this? What's your experience? Not experience at the base, running the logistics and yellow papers and stuff. I'm talking about in that field for real. They're not looking at quantity. We got so many stories of 4 or 5 soldiers taking out 50. What? There's so many stories out there. Like, it's proven. Pure richness. And you guys safe. What? Ain't nobody bullying you. What? All good. All good. Literally is what he's saying. All good.
But there has certainly been no
No
air raid
drama.
blitzes over the Sydney Opera House. Its immigration policy is another factor that plays an important role to its wealth. Unlike other countries that have immigration policy aimed at greater cultural and ethnic diversity and to attract younger workers to help stimulate their economy due to an aging population, Australia concentrates on bringing in highly skilled and needed workers as opposed to just anyone. For example, if Australia starts to find that they have a shortage of doctors, engineers and teachers, they will slacken their immigration rules to allow more of these highly skilled workers to enter. Australia's education system
I'm glad y'all don't be showing ignorance towards that though. How like my country kicking everyone out. Some people making it back, but like they're failing to notice that hey, these people are helping building houses. Yeah, well, not anymore. Construction is still left how it was when the people got taken away, and it's sad. It is truly sad. We don't think about how the people coming from other countries run our world and help. They play a big role. It's not just people from your country living there and supporting that economy and working in this and that. No, it's people coming from all around the world. Most of the time, that's how it is. Most of the time, you see other people from around the world working for another country, supporting another country's economy. And that's whether they're keeping the currency or sending it back home to their families, depending if it's worth more where they're at, where they're working. Because I know a lot of people that did that at Walmart.
is one of the best in the world. It is modern and highly regarded. Therefore, many international students who of course have wealthy families may apply to live and study in Australia. These then already wealthy students may go on to secure high-paying jobs and further boost the Australian economy. Pre-pandemic, Australia was a dream destination. Travellers from all across the globe, including myself, would flock to the land down under to see its many incredible attractions and soak in its gorgeous sunshine.
That's not
Cosmopolitan
so
cities, national parks, architectural landmarks, beaches, and amazing weather. It's no surprise.
Oh, how is it like that? Is that it go dark, light? Did it go like a really light? Did it go like a bluish, a darker bluish? That's crazy.
That in 2019,
How does that even happen? That's so weird. How is that even happening?
Australia's income from tourism was around 42 billion US dollars, about 3.2% of its GDP, the 7th highest in the world. From the Sydney Opera House to Ayers Rock to the Great Barrier Reef, Australia has some of the world's most fascinating landmarks and attractions. Australia's booming housing market is great for bringing in money to the country on taxes due to massive demand of new buildings and homes, but not so great for the everyday Australian trying to buy a house. Very similar to what I see in London. The mega rich from all across the planet buy properties in cities and countries that are well developed and wealthy, as there is only a finite amount of space in cities like Sydney, Melbourne and Perth, which are all extremely desirable. The cost of housing continues to go up, and more are being built. In the year 2000, the average house in Sydney would set you back around 312,000 Aussie dollars. Today, it is more like 1.6 million. The average Sheila simply cannot afford this insane amount. However, a billionaire living in China or Japan can buy several houses and rent them out for profit. Just recently, Australia ranked as the second most agile country in the world, only behind the US. For a country second most agile country in the world, only behind the US. For a country to be agile, it must adapt and respond to whatever obstacles it faces. To do this, a country needs to be efficient in its actions, adopt and accept modern solutions, and progress to meet changing circumstances. And last but not least, it is important to say a few words about the successful Anglo-Saxon economic model. This is a kind of capitalism that is characterized by some important specifics, especially when it comes to taxes. The Anglo-Saxon model usually means less government interference and less regulations. The private sector dominates and the private property enjoys a central role. Although absolutely not perfect, this model has proven to be extremely successful in countries from around the world such as New Zealand, the UK, the Republic of Ireland, the United States, Canada and many more. So overall, Australia is a well-developed country that has one of the strongest immigration policies in the world, is a tourist hotspot outside of pandemics, has a booming export and skilled workforce with a vast amount of natural resources, which allows it to be one of the richest countries in the world with a very high quality of life. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you learned something new, feel free to drop it a like, and if you love this sort of content, consider...
I learned about like 6 to 8 new things in this video. Like I learned a lot in this video. You offered more than what you what you was originally given, or that's what it seemed like through the title. I'm thinking I'm gonna learn about well yeah, there were just some things that he added included into this video, and it was like I didn't know that, and it really did make sense towards his original topic of like how is Australia rich, you know, because of the goods your country, the goods that your beautiful country provides that the rest of the world needs, you sell it. You sell it. Lithium. Oh my gosh, I don't want to say aluminum. Aluminium. Aluminium. Somebody let me know. Aluminium. I'm gonna have to look. I'm gonna have to look it up. You guys have so much to offer in your country. You can sell it to your allies and stuff. This is how you make money. You know, generate different sources of income. The Australian people is what I'm saying. Like, you guys probably generate different sources of income that you probably don't have to rely so much on the government for, you know, if it came push to shove. Create your own little business, do this and that. You don't have to quit your job or your main occupation. You can do a lot of things in this world. You can do whatever you want, guys. Come on. Sky is the limit. Nobody's saying you got to stick to one thing and use that as your source. Let's be smart and let's make about 5, 6. If you can, make more sources. Have them all generating in your sleep and make sure you're saving. They're fluctuating. Everything's fluctuating as you work. It's doing it at night. Come on now. And you won't even have to work 40 hours a week. You will not have to work 40 hours a week like how people in the US brag. You could work not even 6 hours a day. Not even 6 hours a day. You could work like maybe 3-4 hours a day if you genuinely wanted to. And live your life and go to the beach, this and that. Maybe come back and do a little, like, it's beautiful. Especially if you can work from home. Yeah, guys, definitely find multiple sources. It's a smart way. Especially when you retire. You know, you retire, that money is not going to come the same. I don't know if you guys get paid the same amount, but in the US, no. And then sometimes you got to rely on the government, like, you know, disability, or you got to get stability checks because like you're not making enough anymore, or you got hurt and this and that, you can't afford it now because of medications and surgeries. Stuff happens when you get older, guys. But you know, healthcare is better. But yeah, so something that you don't have to depend on the government for, you know, fluctuate from home, your phone, laptop, iPad, it don't matter. Straight up, this was an amazing video, man. Original video link will be down below in the description. Please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications on. Please feel free to share your honest thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section. Were you educated? Were you educated on a few things from this video just as much as myself? Please let me know. Was it your first time learning a few things from this video about your country? Or maybe if you're not from Australia, was it your first time learning about some of the things this beautiful country has to offer in general? Please let me know. Feel free to follow the Twitch down below in the description. I love y'all. Stay safe. And I hope to catch you all in the next reaction video. Thank you so much for joining me today to check out and react to how is Australia so rich.